welcome to the garage, and look what I've got. Now, believe it or not, a backward step some would say, but I picked up very cheaply a screen. Excuse the mess in here, we've got a bit of surgery going on the Honda, which is grief. Anyway, another story. But yes, my double bubble screen, which works, does what it's supposed to do. However, it's at slower speeds, sort of 40-50 miles an hour. It's quite turbulent. Not to me a major issue, but it sort of came to the fore on a recent ride. You get sunrise and you find that you get up to a good speed, sort of motorway speeds, and it works quite nicely. Thank you very much. But at anything below those motorway speeds, because I think of the quite narrow aspect of it, because if you look at it, it's, you know, then it is a narrow aspect. It rumbles around the helmet, and so it's not a major issue, but and I considered buying an expensive screen. But if you read all the reviews, I don't think they make a great deal of difference. But what I did notice is a lot of people run a standard screen, which of course my bike didn't come with. So one popped up on eBay, Fleabay, whatever you care to call it, and starting bid, well, I can't remember what the starting bid was, but whatever it was, I put, yeah, I'll have a pop at that. Not expecting to get it, of course, and lo and behold, here we are. I've won it at the starting bid, so it probably cost more to package than I paid for it, which is nice. It's going to give me the option of a second idea, as it were. So what I'm going to do is pop the screen on, test it, see what I think. If it doesn't work, throw it as far as the eye can see, or stick it back on eBay. I probably wouldn't bother doing that, but yeah, I think it will be fine at lower speeds, because it will give you a cleaner blast of air on the helmet. The double bubble tends to give you a slightly noisy, and it kicks rain certainly over the top of the helmet. The visor won't clear. You have to put your head to one side to clear the visor, but that's the problem with it. As the air comes around the sides, it does rumble on the helmet. As I say, that's what we'll be doing later, and we'll have a few. I've given myself a problem here because I've got no room. But most importantly a tiny correct Phillips, because if you try to do these screws with a wrong screwdriver, you'll burr the ends, and that will be the end of them. You know, and find yourself some new windscreen fixing screws. And they're only plastic, which obviously is to do with not damaging the screen. I might have to walk around the other side of the bike to do the other side. Now the issue, if there was such a thing as an issue, when I ordered this, well, when I made the bid, I wasn't sure that it would fit. And the reason is, the ST screen is different. And this is an ST screen, but 2010 onwards, they changed the screen to be, and it was compatible with this screen, because obviously the GT has got a different headlight. Apparently there's a bit of difference around the headlamp, so I figured for what I got it for, it would be a worthwhile experiment even if it didn't work. And I was figuring that maybe I'd have to cut the nose of the screen, but as it happens I didn't. So that one we can place in storage, and let's see if the other one fits. And obviously this is significantly smaller. I'm going to see if it actually fits. It seems to. The profile of that is so much smaller. It's either going to blow my head off and make me appreciate the screen that I had with it, might be of value. Now what I would say is when this screen came, I hadn't been prepared at all. Well, I really expected to for the money I paid. But it was covered in, well, you know, usual riding, just grubby. And it's cleaned up like brand new, give or take. So in actual fact this is in as good a condition as the screen that was on there. So it's as easy as that with the right screwdriver. I'm not going to give anybody any tips on how to fit a windscreen, it's real numpty stuff. However, start and screw in the screws is my sort of formula for all these things. Make sure all the screws are started in, no problem. No cross threads. You don't want to cross thread on a plastic screw. So, excuse me, my sore throat. I've had a sore throat. There might be a slight difference, you know. Don't know. I don't think so. I think that's, nah, that's good as gold. Same as. I'm pleased with that. And we just put those in to a point where we pinch up. Again, plastic screws. Easiest thing in the world to over tighten. Spin. Because they're plastic, they're not going to fall out. Just by that little bit of tension. Oh, I'm pleased with that. Oh, I'm well pleased. I'd love to be able to go out and ride it. Blowing a gale, interspersed with lashing rain. I thought that one was spinning for a second. No, that's good. Right, 1, 2, 3, 4. That's tight. Happy with that. That looks like brand new. So, a lower, sleeker screen. In theory, I'm going to get this wind straight into my helmet, which will be a different experience to the double bubble, which puts it just on the top of your helmet and, as I say, does give you a lot of turbulence, but we'll see how that goes. A genuine Triumph screen for a bargain price. I love it when a plan comes together, as I used to say. Excellent. All we've got to do now is wait for some weather and find somewhere to store my old one. There you go. Right, we've now given the bike a full road test, 2 occasions, and in a pretty much mixed bag of riding. The initial impressions have been sort of found to be sound, really. It was nice, smooth air. Obviously a wind blast is there, but it's very, very much smoother for me. As I say, I'm 6 foot, I'm wearing a bulky jacket as well, so like a textile jacket, so not really helping it. Just a flip front AGV helmet, and I've also tried it with the showy helmet, both about the same. I think the AGV flip is fairly comfortable because they fit tight around your neck, and doesn't get a lot of wind noise anyway, but yes, it's very good. As I say, a mixed bag of riding, some of which was slow riding, but most of it was moving, and in a few occasions moving very fast as well. At very high speeds, in excess of 70 miles per hour. It's still a steady blast of air. One thing I haven't done is ridden it around. I was expecting to get soaked the day I took it out for a long ride. That was a really heavy looking day, but we dodged all the rain, so I didn't really have a chance to explore how the helmet would work. The screen would work in heavy rain. My guess is you're obviously going to get a huge amount of rain in comparison to the flip screen on your head and shoulders, but again it's going to be clearing, so one would hope that's going to be sufficient. As I say, I've got the other screen if I feel like going out on a wet day, but at the moment all feelings are positive on this. For me it works better than the flip. As I say, it's not as much weather protection, but it's a very much quieter experience. There was no sort of rumble which there would be on the other screen, but as I say, with the other screen, I think if it was raining, you've only got to tuck a little bit and you can virtually get out of the rain altogether. So yeah, it's going to have its downside in really wet weather. The finish is good. It's obviously it's a Triumph screen, so that's no issue. I did have occasion to speak to somebody who has I think it's a Power Bronze flip screen on his Sprint. This is an earlier one, so he's got the low screen and he's got the flip screen. Guy was probably about 5'8", so a little shorter than I. But I don't think your actual height makes a great difference. It's your almost a sort of correlation between your tailbone and the top of your head. So some people are 6 foot with a shorter inside leg, in which case their body is obviously going to be pitched up a little bit further. For me, mine's fairly equal, normal I suppose, 32, 33 inside leg, 6 foot. So as I say, for me it worked really well, and actually the day was a pleasure. Too much so that I actually forgot about the screen and I forgot that I was on something different. It was just a very enjoyable experience. I was on the bike for a lot of hours as well. I think I left here at 9 9 in the morning, and I didn't get back until 4, and with the exception of probably an hour for lunch, we're on the bike all day. So it's a good test for it, and it proved itself to be a good, I say investment, it was really, couldn't call it an investment, it was a bargain. But yes, I'm really pleased that I stumbled across it. It's made a heck of a difference to the way I feel about the bike. It was always one of the things that you just sort of accepted, that the screen was a little noisy. Will I put the big screen on? Yeah, I'm guessing if I'm riding in the middle of winter, in the rain and the cold air, you might wish that to be a higher screen, in which case I'll put the flip screen on, simply to give myself a little bit of warmth and out of the weather a little bit more. But otherwise, certainly for the foreseeable months through the summer, I don't see any issue. So that's it, a successful venture. That said, I had a sort of an issue with my in-off camera, which that's another story, which confused the heck out of me. Really didn't know why it was doing what it was doing, which was when you look through the rear camera, it showed you on the wrong side of the road, and perfectly so. So much so I thought I had to sort of watch it 3 times to sort of understand it. Then I watched the front. The front's on the left-hand side of the road. When you look at the rear camera, you're on the right-hand side of the road, and it transposed it perfectly. So God knows what that is, but I've managed to now go back, reset it, start again, and it's hopefully all okay. So that'll do for now, and I'll see you next time. Thank you.